You also do a lot of work on sex and intimacy, and I think we can. I want to hear your thoughts about some myths about sort of sexual intimacy. But I think one of the myths, probably, I would say, I would offer this is that affairs happen because of sex. Maybe, and sometimes, and oftentimes, there's some sexual intimacy involved, but that 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 ain't what's driving it a lot of the times. I guess I wonder, if we can shift gears a little bit, talk about intimacy and sexual passion, sort of separate the subject a little bit. A lot of people come to you for the teaching on sexual intimacy. What are some of the things you enjoy the most teaching about sexual intimacy and sexology?
Well, I think just to go back for a second about, the myths around sex and affairs,
Yeah.
there actually are studies that show that women actually do cheat for sex. Men tend to cheat for emotional reasons. And that like flips the whole paradigm of what we think about affairs because, there's so many myths around women needing emotional connection and men just wanting, objectified sex. And frankly, it's not true, particularly as you get to middle age and you have kids that are like kindergarten age. Like women have been nurturers their whole lives. And as they get older, as the kids get older, at school age, women don't want necessarily to be in another emotional relationship where they have to listen to their affair partner talk about their rough day at work. They're like, I have that at home. I just want to have good sex. Like I don't want to have to listen to someone else's emotional problems. And for men, many times they're in a relationship where their partners, their life partners have distanced themselves because they're getting a lot of their emotional satisfactions from their children and they miss it. So they're looking for a more permanent relationship in an affair. And we also know that from studies with Steve Stosny and John Gottman that a lot of affairs happen because of opportunity, not because the sex at home is not good. So you can still have good sex and have a good relationship at home and have people cheat. If there's a lot of opportunity and people feel like it's easy and it lands in their lap, or like, now when you can do it online and there's nothing better to do and people are bored or like you said, depressed. But so people really come to me for two reasons when it comes to sex. It's either there's been a trauma in their erotic life, like an affair, some kind of infidelity, or neglect. And neglect is this, sort of myth that if we work on our companionship and we get really close and we communicate well and we go to therapy and learn how to talk to each other, then our sex life will just take care of itself. And that's totally not true. And so people will come in unhappy in their sex life because they haven't really been working on their erotic life. And that's the sort of the downfall of a lot of long-term relationships. To, reevaluate how do you jack up your erotic life, even if you're really good companions, you're great roommates, you get along, everything's fine, you parent well, they're running the business of your life really well, but you've lost that passion and aliveness and, your sex life sucks. And people don't know how to put that first. It's,
right.
You lose interest.